Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to give you a tour of one of my favourite neighbourhoods in London. We are in the west of London today, not too far from where I live, and we are going to do a tour of Holland Park, the neighbourhood, the high street, as well as Holland Park, the actual park, which is home to the Kyoto Gardens, a beautiful Japanese garden. So Holland Park is home to many celebrities, the likes of Richard Branson has lived here, Robbie Williams, Ed Sheeran, Victoria and David Beckham, David Cameron. So it's a really affluent neighbourhood, very wealthy. It joins onto Notting Hill and is between Shepherd's Bush, roundabout Shepherd's Bush and Notting Hill. So let's start the tour. I'm going to show you one of my favourite muses. Holland Park in Notting Hill is known for their muses, just beautiful streets. So let's go, let's start. So as we kick off, I just want to show you sort of the architecture and sort of the residential blocks. They're kind of made up of kind of crescents and squares, and all of these houses here, like townhouses, they probably don't have back gardens. So what they do is a lot of them have communal access to these kind of beautiful squares with gardens in them. I think this one might even have a little tennis court. I'm just going to, yeah. They probably all sort of contribute to maintaining the gardens. And we are in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Kensington and Chelsea, I think, is one of the largest boroughs in London. And I've started the tour on Norland Square. The postcode for Holland Park is W11. And this is Holland Park Road. So this is the main road that connects you from Shepherd's Bush to Notting Hill Gate. And Holland Park has a small high street of eateries, coffee shops, a tube station, some salons, a really beautiful bookshop, Daunt Books. If you ever visit London, you've got to check out a Daunt bookshop. There are a few dotted around. Really lovely home shops, kitchen shops. Holland Park gets its name from Holland House, which I believe was a Jacobean property. It's a quirky supermarket here. It's quite retro for Holland Park. Holland Park is quite quaint. I have to say, if I had the money, I absolutely would love to live, my dream to live in Holland Park, Notting Hill. And on this side we've got some really big townhouses. I'm not even sure if they're considered townhouses or mansions. Here we have Daunt Books. It's a really lovely little bookshop. And the butchers. Pharmacy.
That truck will be half full. You are right, it's a half load. But the problem is, wait, I can't put no more.
Let's just take a moment to show you some of these beautiful painted buildings. So there's this trend I've seen sort of through Notting Hill, Portobello, everyone painting the houses in these really beautiful pastel colours. I think they all probably have to get together and decide who's going to have which colour and kind of have some sort of a colour chart, only assuming. And some lovely alfresco dining there. There's Melt, the chocolate shop there. That is just stunning though, look at that. I also love that balcony, or the sort of metalwork that runs along those 5 properties. It's quite a warm, humid day today. This is a lovely gelato shop called Unico. I have to say, London doesn't have very many amazing ice cream shops, but that is one of them. And we've just come up to Holland Park tube station. This is on the Central line. What I'm going to do in a minute is cross over, because I'm going to show you one of my favourite Mewses in all of West London. I'll just cross a bit further down so I can show you that statue. I'm not sure who that statue is of. This is a statue of Saint Volodymyr. Volodymyr. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce it. It's the ruler of Ukraine between 1980 and 1015. And I do remember when the war in Ukraine started, there was a lot of protests around here, and that's obviously why. It makes sense. So this road's called Holland Park. Just take a look at some of this architecture. And this is a new build, relatively new build, I'd say, maybe in the last 8 years, 9 years. Let's just look at the difference between that style and this one here. And just this whole building sort of curves around as the road curves. I can only imagine how much these properties are. Probably fetching in the between 5 and 10 million. I'm going to cross over because what I am going to quickly show you is Holland Park Mews. And it's my absolute dream to live on a mews. I absolutely love muses. I think they're just so quaint. I mean, look how cute that is. Excuse me. I think a lot of these are 2 stories. Some beautiful flats, houses, just immaculately kept. Look at that. Love that colour. Love these stairs that go up. Oh, look how pretty that is up there. Lovely to come out and have your morning coffee there. I think if I had a mews, I'd just kind of have all loads of pots and planting outside. That's another lovely colour. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this because it's just so quaint, so beautiful. I think I have looked up some of these online before, and they do fetch a lot of money, and actually surprisingly they're quite big inside. So I think the fronts are quite misleading. So I'm not going to walk all the way down there because we are very close to Holland Park itself, the park itself. And there's a lovely deep colour, kind of like an aubergine. Oh, I wonder what they keep in there, or who they keep in there. Yes, it's a steep hill. Gosh. Oh, it's really warm today. So warm. And let's cross over. I think the thing with some of these properties is that they're surrounded by lush gardens and parks and, you know, really beautiful outdoor spaces. You don't always need a garden. There's so much outdoor space to enjoy. This is the wall to the garden, so it's very unusual, right? To have such a grand wall. I'm just going to stand back so you can get a look at that. I always just love how this kind of, it's a really kind of discreet entrance. And then you walk in and you're just sort of greeted by these lush trees. And what I love about Holland Park is you've just got so many like sort of hidden seating areas. Just look at these big, I don't know what kind of trees these are. They're not palms, obviously. Let's go up here and see what's here. These ferns. I think it just takes you to a pathway in the park, but I just want to quickly show you the map. So the entrance I came into was the Sun Trap entrance. There's a little bit about Holland Park. So Holland Park is spread across 55 acres of what used to be the grounds of Cope Castle, a large Jacobean mansion hidden in the woods. It was built by Sir Walter Cope in the early 17th century, who became Chancellor of the Exchequer under King James I. It was renamed Holland House after the Earl of Holland's wife, Lady Rich, inherited the property. The Kyoto Gardens was designed and built by an eminent Japanese garden designer and his team to celebrate the Japan Festival in London in 1992. It was a cooperative project between the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea and the Kyoto Chamber of Commerce in Japan. Holland Park is split into three distinct areas: tranquil woodland with wildlife in the north, Grade 1 listed remains of Holland House and formal gardens in the centre, and formal sport and recreation facilities. So, just find where I am. Okay, so we've come up from that entrance there, and we're going to make our way towards the Kyoto Gardens, which is number 20, sort of somewhat in the middle. So let's go. I don't think I can show you all the park today, just because it's fairly big, but also would be a little bit boring if I'm just walking around green spaces. So I will show you some of the features.
Okay, let me see.
So the Kyoto Gardens is to my right. I have about 25 minutes to do this tour today. So I think it's best I show you what I think is one of the features, the highlights of this park. I mean, it's just unbelievable that in the heart of London you have such woodland terrains. It's just such a lovely escape from the hustle and bustle of the roads and the shops, and just to be able to step in, whether it's for half an hour, have some lunch, have a picnic. think people are trying to feed the squirrels, but actually the pigeons are eating all the food. Okay, so we're approaching the Kyoto Gardens. It's just a sign saying, please respect this garden which has been created for quiet appreciation. So I probably won't talk very much. And there's a sign here, please respect this area as one set aside for quiet and contemplation. So they're really emphasising the fact that this was made for people to come and just enjoy some calm. Gosh, look at these trees. I won't read it again because I have read it a few minutes ago, but just let's take a minute to look at the landscape. And there's always a queue for the bridge, so I'm just going to go quiet now and just sort of take you around. Love acer trees. Look at those acers. There's a heron there, I believe. I'm pretty sure people have fallen in, not taking pictures. Got this really big carp in there.
Can we take photo of the two moms and the two children? Actually, अगर वहाँ पे करें तो and then you get back in the background. The routine is very fast. Yeah, of us and of the thing, of the like background. Yeah. What?
There was a judge eating a fish, it went in the water and it had like a live fish.
No way.
And that huge one over there was also eating fish. That black one. The black one was where it was.
So I'm going to come out of here now. But it's just such a beautiful place. I'm sure it's always busy and that doesn't create the atmosphere that they hoped to create. Everyone uses it as a photo op, which is understandable. But there are these lovely little secluded places where people can sit and read a book and just relax. So now I'm going to show you the remains of Holland House. I think somewhat 4 more gardens. Let's just come this way. They also have a really big children's play area here. Quite different to other parks. It's really worth coming with the kids to use those facilities. So I'll show you this wall. I love these peach trees. Let's go through here. Some lovely olive trees. There's a giant chessboard. I love the sound of water. Let's just come up here and I'll show you some of the planting here. Mostly summer bedding. Is this sundial? Is it a sundial? Kinda. Not sure, it's not a sundial. Some really lovely formal gardens. Very colourful. It's not usually the colours I like to plant with. I'm quite simple when it comes to planting. I love white and green and some types of purples, greys. This is lovely. It's very tranquil. Some lovely steps there. Like I said, people are just sort of sitting everywhere and just kind of these little hidden nooks and crannies in the park. It's really lovely. There's some murals here of, I guess, life in Holland Park in the Victorian period. Let's look at that. I'm just going to bring you here because they have a rose garden. That doesn't look very healthy at the moment. I've been there before where this is a lot more impressive. Not sure what's happening. Oh, it's very bare. And they've got the toddler's playground. Is that a sand pit? Yeah, that's a sand pit. There's a lot of money that goes into this park. What amazes me is how they always manage to fit in playing fields in every park in London. There's also some tennis courts on the other side, but there's some baseball nets there, or cricket. That's maybe cricket nets or baseball nets there in the distance. I think they've got a running track going around. I'm sure there's cricket match. Yeah, there's a cricket pitch there. And in the background, you can see the Design Museum, which is a really impressive museum, worth checking out if you're into old technologies and just, yeah, all sorts of things, history of how things were made. There's a pavilion here where I'm sure they have some entertainment in the summer.
I just found out myself.
I've not ever been to anything here. It might be worth having a look on the website to see if they do any music events. I'll do a tour of Regent's Park sometime, and they have a really beautiful open air theatre, which I've been to many times. Might just go up here and have a look, see what's going on. These are quite alternative music events. I'll have a look online actually. But what's really great about Regent's Park Theatre is they have their own theatre company, and they do about 3 shows in the summer. One is their sort of main musical, one is a play, and then they have a kids show. And it's a really lovely venue. On a warm summer's night, it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm coming up to a path here now where if I turn right, it will bring me out onto Kensington High Street. But we are going to go left because I'm heading towards Notting Hill Gate, where I will end the tour. Oh, there's even a youth hostel here. So we are exiting Holland Park. And what I will do is I will carry this tour on until I get to Notting Hill Gate, because Notting Hill will be another video. Oh, it's just loads of chauffeur-driven cars here. So we are back on Holland Park Road. And I'm just gonna walk you up to Notting Hill Gate. I have to say, I just want to take a minute to show you that kind of architecture from this side. I love the iron metalwork in front of those doors there. Look at these double stairs. It's a hotel. It will get busier now as we approach Notting Hill Gate. There's a lot of foreign money invested into this neighbourhood, as you can imagine. A lot of controversy around the fact that a lot of these properties remain unoccupied. I have to say, one of my favourite houses is this one here across the road. I just love that frontage with the wisteria growing along it. Not sure about that lime green colour. Some of these more earthy colours are beautiful, really beautiful. Yeah, I almost feel like that one didn't get the memo as to the shades of colour they were all going for. Also, there's still a real mix of buildings in all parts of London. So there you've got a typical council block, you know, and every sort of type of person lives in the same neighbourhood. It's not just a wealthy, it's really mixed. This is the Ruby Hotel on my left. They're a relatively new chain of hotels, still quite small. I think they've got 4 in London, 3 or 4. Now we are approaching Notting Hill Gate, a really lovely neighbourhood, so many lovely eateries, so many places to eat, cafes and restaurants. And I will bring the tour to an end in a minute, just because then that is going to be another video. So thanks for watching, guys. I am going to end this tour of Holland Park as we are now approaching Notting Hill Gate. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And I shall see you in my next video.